What is the fastest, most effective way to learn neurolinguistic programming? This is probably the question that I get asked the most, and if you're ready for that answer, this video is for you. Recently, someone on my Instagram asked me if I had to do it all over again, what would I do different? So if I suddenly lost all of my NLP skills and all of my NLP knowledge, how would I now go about mastering NLP? It's a great question. So what would I do different? Not much, actually. Very few things in my life have worked out so well that from the beginning I made most of the right choices, as was the case with learning NLP. That question, what would I do differently, presupposes that you kind of already know what I did. And quite honestly, I don't think I've made an entire video about that. I've made almost 750 videos giving pointers and tips here and there, but I haven't really talked too much about what were the exact things that I did. But instead of doing a video on that, I thought it would be much easier if I made a checklist of all the things that I think would help anyone learn NLP quickly. They're all based on things that I did. So if you would like me to email you that checklist, if you check in the description right here down below the video, you will see a link. Click that link and I will email you a copy of that checklist. No matter if you're a beginner or if you've been taking classes and courses for a while, and it will even help you if you haven't even gotten started yet. What did I do that worked really well? While you can refer to the checklist, I do want to talk about a few things that you can actually implement right now, immediately. If you're learning NLP because you want the certification of being an NLP practitioner or an NLP master practitioner, if you're learning NLP because you want to use it as a coach with your coaching clients, assuming that you are a coach, or maybe you're an aspiring coach, I think it's time to discover some new reasons to learn NLP. It's okay to want a NLP certificate, even though they're quite useless and meaningless. It's perfectly okay if you want to use NLP in your coaching. I'm not saying that you shouldn't want those things. What I am saying though is if that's where your primary focus of your attention is, it's definitely going to slow you down. When I first started learning NLP, I did not care about the certificate at all, and I still don't. I never have. At the time, I was not a coach, not a teacher. I had no interest in being a coach or a teacher. This actually was huge in helping me learn much faster. How, you might be wondering, did not wanting those things help me learn NLP rapidly? Well, because those things are expectations, and if you get too focused on your expectations become limitations. And so if you remove that part of it and you put your focus primarily on discovering yourself, discovering more about who you are, how do you think, how do you do what you do well, these are much better places to put your focus of your attention. I wasn't focused on trying to push rocks up mountains, and I wasn't focused on just trying to check boxes as if, got that NLP thing, learned it, done it, and moved on, which a lot of people do. I was learning NLP because I really wanted to transform myself into the person who could create the life that I wanted to live. It was a reflexive kind of thing. I wanted a particular life, and I knew that I had to become the person who could create that life for myself. I knew that I needed to work on me. I knew I needed to transform me. Even for people who are coaches and are wanting to help their clients, and I see this a lot, I get people coming to me and they just keep saying like, I want to help people, I want to help people. And I say, well, what about you? Are you using NLP on you? Are you using it to transform yourself? Are you using it to become the person you want to be so that you can create that life for yourself? And most of the time, people have never even considered that. Learning NLP in the context of just trying to solve one problem, or learning NLP just so you can hang a certificate on your wall, or throw a few extra techniques at your clients, these are not journeys that are going to transform you. If you're not interested in fulfilling your potential, and you're not curious about who you can become and what life you can create for yourself, don't listen to me. I'm not a good teacher for you. How did I learn NLP in the context of transforming myself? Well, eventually I got to a point, once I had the basics down, where I went in search of a teacher who could give me some more one-on-one time so that I could really take this to the next level. And that included even emailing John Grinder, one of the founders of NLP, and that did not go well at all. But eventually I did find someone, and the really great part about the teacher that I did find is that it didn't take him long to understand what it was I was really after. And what was even better than that is I didn't even understand what I was really after, but he did, and he pointed me in the right direction. This teacher, of course, was Steve Andreas, and he created the self-concept model, which was the exact solution to the problem that I was experiencing. It was the exact solution to what I think all personal development and self-help is after, and that is to fully be able to transform yourself at will with predictable results. And then the life part kind of takes care of itself. If you are the person who has the life that you want to live, it starts to fall into place rather quickly. If you want to learn NLP rapidly and you want to be very effective at it, you want to master it, then make it a lifelong practice so that it becomes something that is part of you rather than something you dabble with. Strive to transform yourself in the process of learning NLP, and not only will you master NLP, you will master yourself, which will be much more rewarding. These are the things that I did, and these are the things that I still do. Now, make it work for you. If you found this video helpful, you will definitely want to watch this next video so that you don't make the same mistakes that most people make when they try to learn NLP techniques.